Hello, North Country soccer fans, and welcome to the George Brendler Field here on the 13th day of September 2017. And what a beautiful summer night for mid-September. It's just a gorgeous day. The temperatures are probably in the low 70s right now after being in the early low 80s today. So I'm Joey Trombley. On the camera is Calvin Castine, and it is Northern Soccer League Division II rivalry between the Eagles of Chazy and the Griffins of Elizabethtown-Lewis / Westport. And these are definitely two rivals coming into this game. Based on what we're reading on the papers and what Chazy has been doing, it seems like the Griffins are in a rebuilding year. The Eagles come in with a seasoned team just off a Final Four appearance last year, only losing 2 starters. So it has the potential to be a one-sided game here tonight. But what we do know between the Griffins and the Eagles, they always bring out the best of each other, and I am expecting the Griffins to bring their A game tonight, and I think it's going to be a very competitive match because of the rivalry, and we'll see as it plays out here. But what a beautiful night for a game. And the game got started late for us. The game was supposed to start at 6, and it is a little after 7, I think. 6:52, Calvin says. So they had a little bus trouble on their way down here. So we have a throw-in for Chazy. And it looks like it'll be Hunter Bayshard. It is, taking the throwing. He's in the box, goes off of McCauley's head, and it's cleared out by Hudson Stevens. So the first corner kick, just a little over a minute into the first half, and Chazy will get the first corner kick on the near sideline, and it's Tristan Connors going to the near sideline, taking the corner here. The players set up offensively. It's a low kick going out. It's pushed back, and there's a rip by Hunter Bayshard, and that goes wide of the net. So a goal kick here for the Griffins, as by Calvin, I'm not getting the name right here.
Oh.
Vichulis? We'll go Vichulis.
Yeah.
We're gonna go Peter Vichulis, the goalie. Hopefully, Peter, I got your name right. Coach told me before the game, and I just totally forgot it. But it's Vichulis. I'm going to go with that. But the kick was taken by number 5, Matthew Pribble. The ball's pushed back, and it's McAfee, who's had a good night the other night against Willsboro with 5 points, 2 goals, and an assist at the stopper position. So it's McAfee, sends it up over the feet of Justin Collins. He comes to the near sideline on to Hunter Bayshard. Bayshard working his way down. He has King. King will trap it, sends it up trying to find Connors, and it's cleared out of bounds by number 4, Mackenzie Stevens.
I was just looking at that E-Town-Lewis Westport roster, and I expected to see more freshmen on there because they got 19 green shirts. I counted them while they're doing the anthem. But the lineup is deep. They got numbers.
Well, they got the numbers, and you only have 4 seniors on this team. The rest are sophomores and juniors, and as far as freshmen go, they have 3 freshmen, which is really not much for a Class D school. Usually you'll see a little more than that. But Chazy just outside the box. Collins pushes it over. There's a shot by McAfee. That will go wide. So we're going to have another goal kick here for the Griffins. We're at 36-18. We have no score. And Paul Bueller, the longtime coach of the Griffins, is not coaching this year. His kids are getting up there in age, and they're now involved in soccer. And, of course, being the family man that Paul is, he wants to see his kids play, and, of course, that stands to reason. So there's a new coach this year. His name is Evan George, and he's on the sideline for the Griffins, his first year. And the ball gets by number 8, Michael Dedham, controlled by Connor Morris. He goes to keeps it simple to the open space, up to Collins. Collins trying to find King, and that just goes too far out of his range. So we're going to have a throw-in for the Griffins, and with the throw-in was Chris Jones. Jones sends it up, taken by Bayshard to King. King sends it back to McAfee. McAfee in the offensive zone. Keeps it up over to Collins. Collins will control. He tries to split the defense. It's knocked away. Connors will try to get a shot off. It's deflected by number 5 for the Griffins. That would be Pribble. So the ball's cleared up onto the feet of number 10, Liberi. Liberi pushes it back up over to Stevens. Back to Liberi, taken away by Connor Morris. Morris will now send it down the line, and it's McCauley. He's a striker for Chazy, and he can finish when he gets the opportunity. But that goes too far ahead of him off the end line, so it's going to be a goal kick again for the Griffins. And our officials tonight, Calvin, would be whom?
Well, they would be Todd Lambert and Dennis Labarge.
That would be correct. Two longtime officials here. They do an awesome job down there, and Todd said before the game, Joy, be kind to us. And I said, Todd, we're always kind to you guys. We think you guys do an awesome job down there, and can't thank those guys enough for putting up with whatever verbal abuse they put up with. They not so much on this side, but more probably on the other side. What was that, Calvin?
Two of Altona's finest.
Yes, both Bobcats in their own right. And McAfee sends another shot up, and that goes, oh, it comes back in.
Rejected.
It was. So 33:55 here left in the first half. The ball has been predominantly in Griffin territory, but really no great grade A opportunities for Chazy up at this point. Ball comes up, and it's picked up by Collins. Collins trying to find it to Tristan Connors, but the ball is sent back into the defensive end. Trombley's back there for Chazy. He will shield the ball out, so a throw in for Chazy. That's Hunter Bayshard. Bayshard working his way down the sideline off the head of Collins to Connors. Connors comes to the near sideline over to McCauley. McCauley tried to go back to him, but it was knocked away by Pribble. And it will go off of Bayshard's foot right here at midfield, just below us here at the Eagles' nest here in Chazy. And the throw-in comes in by Chris Jones down the line. Bayshard will let it go out of bounds. So he'll reverse the throw-in. Coming back up is King. King sends it forward into the Griffin territory. Hustling back there is the defense. It was number 18, Napper. It goes out of bounds, so a throw-in for Chazy. Going around deep into Griffin territory. And McCauley, nice throw in the box, goes over Morris's head. And it's Heath Lucas trying to get to the ball, but it's cleared out by Dedham. So throw in far side. Moak will take the throw in. Off the head of Morris, goes toward the net, but it's cleared out by Napper. He sends it up. Moak gets it up over to Morris. Morris pushes it back to McAfee. McAfee now trying to get it through. He does. McCauley's there, but coming off his line is by Chalice, and he'll work his way to the 18. Short punt, and it goes to the outside. Kept in play. Nice play by the Griffins. Chazy looking to try to control it. Goes over to Justin Collins. And they're calling a trip on the Eagles. So the Griffins are in Eagle territory here, just inside Eagle territory, far side, with 31:37 to go. We still have no score here on the George Brendler Field on this beautiful, what you will call a summer night in mid-September. There's a chip toward the 18. It goes off of Morris, headed up by Lucas onto the feet of Connors. Connors switches fields, trying to find King. King will trap it. Heels it back up over to Hunter Bayshard. Bayshard sends it back, goes off of McAfee, and that's a handball. Off of McAfee.
Hey, Chris, Arlo, if you get beat, Chris steps, you drop back. Get a body on this guy!
So it's the Griffins, number 3, Trey McLean. Looks like he'll take the kick, but up with him is Pribble. And they keep it short. It goes on to Stevens. Stevens now sends it forward. And that works through everybody off the end line. So we're going to have a goal kick here for the Eagles. We've gone almost 10 minutes in this game. Even though Chazy has controlled the territory, there's still no shots in the game, Calvin.
Yeah, I'm looking across at the stands over there and along the fence. You know, normally these two teams are playing each other. You got a crowd here, but I think expectations aren't there for this game to be a barn burner. So I think a lot of folks are staying home.
Yeah.
On both sides.
And I agree. Usually this place is jamming. It's quite an atmosphere when these two teams get together.
Well, I remember, back in the 80s and 90s when they used to play these games up at Seton Catholic. They'd have a neutral site, and that, it was just packed.
Both towns were there.
Yeah.
So it goes off the head of McCulley, and the ball headed back by Stevens of the Griffins, and it's picked up by Holleran. Holleran has it taken away by Collins. Collins over to King. King will send it up. Ball headed by Connors out to McCulley. Off his line was by Chulis, and it goes out of bounds. So it's going to be a corner or off the end line. So corner kick, quick corner, and McCulley tried to get it out there as Vichalis was rushing back to get into the net, but it goes off the end line. So a goal kick for the Griffins.
I've always been a big fan of putting the ball down and kicking it, getting that kick off before the other team has a chance to set up on defense.
The element of surprise.
Yeah.
So Pribble will take the goal kick. He sends it up. And trying to be controlled by Christian Connors. It was, but defended well by Spilling. That was Lucas Spilling. Ball comes into the feet of Collins. Collins makes a nice move. Collins trying to take it through himself, trying to get it to Connors, but it's knocked away, goes to the outside. Heath Lucas is there for Chazy, defended well by Dedham. Dedham knocks it out of balance, defended well on Lucas. Throw in for the Eagles is Moak. Moak gets it onto the feet of Connors. Connors turns, and now he'll send it forward, and the ball is headed out by the defense by Chris Jones. And actually, it was number 18, Will Napper, who headed that ball.
Offside violation.
So 27:55 here in the first half. No score, no shots on net. The only thing on the scoreboard are two corner kicks for Chazy. Ball comes up, and that bounces over everybody's head as that went over the head of number 13, Holleran. McCauley off his head. Yep, and there was a handball called. So Chazy will have a set play here from distance. And Nathan Trombley will come to take up from the defensive end. So Coach McAuliffe is telling him to send it right toward the net, let the players crash. And there it goes. There it was. Oh, what an opportunity. It deflected, and it goes off the defense. So it'll be a corner kick for Chazy far side, and that will be Tristan Connors taking the kick here for the Eagles. Right, this is dangerous inside the box. Goes off of the head of McAfee off the end line. He came up from the stopper position, and it'll be a goal kick for the Griffins. 26:30 here left in the first half. No score, no shots on net for either team. Ball comes up, just shy, and it's Morris trying to find McCauley, and it's cleared out by Stevens. Back there is Trombley. He gets it up over to Hunter Bayshard. Sends it up to Morris. Morris comes out over to King. King trying to control. It's King and Holleran. He gets it out up over to McCauley. McCauley sends it toward the 18. Stepping up was Napper. Now ball goes to McAfee off to the far side to Moak. Moak trying to find Lucas. Lucas on the far side has it cleared away from by Dedham. So this will be a throw-in for Chazy. Moak quickly gets it into Lucas. Heath Lucas with the ball. Sends it back up over to McAfee. McAfee gets it up over to Morris. Morris looking to control. He pushes it back to Trombley. Trombley goes wide over to Hunter Bayshard. Bayshard working his way down. Gets it up over to Collins. Collins cutting through. He has a couple of Griffins on him. He was looking to serve it. He sends it across. And there's a weak shot headed out by Napper. And the ball deflects out of bounds. Goal kick for the Griffins. So if you're Coach Evan George, you got to like what you're seeing so far in the sense no quality shots on their goalkeeper.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that once the Eagles score that first one, the floodgates will kind of open. But they were on the field a long time kicking the ball around, so I think it took some of the game out of their steps. So it's working out in Elizabethtown-Lewis Westport's favor.
So the ball comes up, is headed by Morris to the far sideline, chipped up, picked up by Lucas. Lucas, he's being challenged by Denham. He gets by him. He gets now to Tristan Connors. Connors working his way down the edge, trying to cut across, get the shot off, but by Chalice is there for the Griffins, and he punts the ball. Nice punt from the goalkeeper right at midfield. McAfee sends it back up. Morris trying to one-time it. It deflects up over to Lucas. Lucas comes to the near side, up over to Hunter Bayshard. Bayshard now sends it forward, trying to find the speed of McCauley. Back there is Napper. It's Napper and McCauley. McCauley trying to cut through to keep it in. It's McCauley trying to get by Napper, but Napper does a good job. He's a tall, strong young man, defended well. And the ball goes through and up over to Tristan Connors, and Connors trying to get there, but coming off his line was by Chalice, and he does a nice job, and he'll send another high booming punt right at midfield, goes off the head of Collins onto the feet of Lucas. Lucas now comes back to Collins. Collins trying to split the defense. Collins still with the ball. He has King, finds the slot, sends it through, trying to get King. King trying to work his way to the end line, trying to get a cross off. It deflects off the defense, clear it out, come back to Bayshard. Bayshard sends it across over to McAfee. McAfee on the outside of his foot, goes through everybody, goes into the hands of by Chalice with 23:07 to go. So there's got to be some shots on net now. They don't show it on the scoreboard. So the punt goes to midfield, picked up by Moak. Moak trying to find Connors. So we'll get the scorekeeper down below at halftime to find out what the shots are. The clock keeper is not putting them up there right now. So it's by Chalice. Will take his time, let his team set up. He'll work his way to the 18. Collins trying to control. Comes to the near side over to King. King over to McCauley. McCauley at the 18 cuts in. McCauley trying to get that perfect shot off, but it's defended well. Now it's cleared across. Morris gets a shot off left-footed, and by Chalice is there. Nice hard shot by Morris, and they do record that as a first shot on the board. By Chalice sends the ball short of midfield into Chazy territory, and here comes number 10. Has it taken away. That was Liberia. Had it taken away from Moak, who sent it to Trombley. Now to Connors. Connors working his way. And they're going to call a foul on number 9, Lucas Spilling.
Hunter all the way.
Turn mark, here we go. Make your get back, make your get. Hey, Ted! Ted! Somebody get Ted!
So Nathan Trombley will take the kick for the Eagles. He chips it up. Goes off the back of Lucas. And it's cleared out by Spilling. So a throw-in for the Eagles. Number 4, Eli Moak. Over to Connors. Connors onto the feet of Collins. Collins now comes over to Bayshard, back to Collins. Collins pushes it back up over to Bayshard. Bayshard now will send it across, and that is going to be a corner kick, and it went off number 15 pretty hard. That was Chris Jones. So it's going to be a corner kick for the Eagles. Near corner, I say. It's a short corner kick. It's King and Connors. Connors sends it back. And there's the shot by, and there's a goal, and they're calling offsides.
Keep playing the offside!
So Todd Lambert says offsides.
Get up!
I'm not crazy, am I? Sorry, kid. 15 was in the net.
So we're just under 20 minutes. A goal called back for the Eagles. Nice, it was a nice short corner kick play. They played it well, but and they got the goal, but it's called back. So advantage in a sense to the Griffins for having that goal called back. So the Eagles will get a throw-in, but again, we're under 20 minutes, and 98% of the ball has been in the Griffin territory. The Eagles just haven't penetrated yet with a goal. That counted, I should say. So we have a throw-in for the Griffins' far side.
Hey, cheat.
Ball headed up.
Guys, you need to win balls out of here.
McCauley has it flex off him. Bayshard will come up.
Hey, make them force a play.
Collins.
Outside, yes. Well,
Napper sends it back out. It goes off the foot of Libery. Far side picked up by Moak. Moak sends it up trying to find Tristan Connors. It's cleared out of bounds by Spilling.
wait.
So Connors in halfway into Griffin territory with the throw-in. Off the head of McCauley. And there's a shot and a goal. And McCauley was there. He finished. And just a nice play. And there's the first goal of the game at the 18:24 minute mark. Chazy goes up 1-0.
21-36. McCauley from Heath.
So that was Heath Lucas with the assist to Josh McCauley. And it's the first goal of the game.
Can't put a goal on.
So the 18-minute mark, the ball comes in, and it's called out of bounds.
What's 5, Matt? What's 5 and 16?
Bayshard off of Collins.
There you go, okay.
And Morris trying to control it, but it's sent up. Defended well by McAfee. Now it's Eli Moak far side. Coming on hard is number 3, McLean. Lucas with the ball. And one thing I will say, and if Coach Evan George is watching this game after, I would just ask him and all the coaches, when you do your rosters, if you put them in numerical order, it makes it much easier for us up here to call the game. And we definitely want to give your kids credit when they have the ball. It just makes it harder to find their name when the numbers are all over the place here. So the ball comes in, Pribble sends it up. It goes off the head of Stevens, and there's a shot, and it was Blake Libery goes wide of the net, but it was a shot on net, and so Chazy will have the goal kick with 16:45 to go here in the first half. That was the first true opportunity that the Griffins had, Calvin.
They're hanging in there, but they're playing on their heels, so it's tough when you're all of a sudden you're defensive end.
So the ball comes up. It's Connors. He splits the defense, trying to keep it in. He sends it across. Oh, nice play by Chalice to knock the ball away from. It would have been Heath Lucas. Now the ball goes back, goes over everybody. Morris has sent it up, but it is now Hunter Bayshard. He sends it in. King. It deflects, and it's going to be a corner kick for Chazy. And they're saying it's a goal kick. Deflection off of Chazy, goal kick. So there's the kick. Going to Dedham. Lucas trying to get to the ball, but he's being sandwiched by Dedham and McLean. So they get the whistle. So it'll be Nathan Trombley coming up. Nobody back in the defensive end for Chazy. Everybody up offensively. Norcross is halfway up to almost midfield. So Chazy looking to get that second goal just outside the 18. And it is McCauley. And McCauley just missed it. Chalice came over to cut the angle on the near side. McCauley had the whole far side, and it just missed. And he'd love to have that one back.
It looked to me like Chalice had a chance to get out there and go for the ball, but he decided to hang back, and he lucked out, I think.
Yeah, he did. So 14:38 to go here in the first half. Chazy leading 1-0. Preble with the kick. It goes off of the head of Stevens. And now it's cleared up by Hudson Stevens. It was Mackenzie Stevens just before him. So Heath Lucas will turn. He will now send it up, trying to find McCauley. Deflected and picked up by Stevens. Taken by King. King will work his way to the middle of the field. Will now send it through, trying to find Heath Lucas. Lucas putting on the afterburners, but just cannot get to it as it goes off the end line. So we have ourselves number 3 coming out of the game. What is it?
Got blood all over his mouth.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
So that was Trey McLean. Not sure what happened there. It looks like it's coming off his nose. Checking into the game was number 25, Keegan Sewell. So it's Justin Collins sending it through, and Chalice is there. The punt by Chalice at midfield. Morris trying to get to the ball. He does. One times it up, trying to find McCauley, but it's cleared out by Preble. So it'll be a throw-in for Chazy at midfield. Moak will send it down quickly, trying to find Tristan Connors. He does, but it goes off the Griffin defense. So a throw-in for the Eagles. Ball comes in off the head of McCauley. McCauley now sends it across, trying to find Hayden King. And Bayshard gets the shot off, and that will go over everything into the cornfield. So it'll be a goal kick for the Griffins.
About 4 rows deep.
I wonder how many balls the Drew's Poultry folks find when they do the corn.
Well, is that when they hear the pop, pop?
Yeah. It's popcorn.
Ball comes up to midfield, and of course we say it every year, it's just a beautiful setting with the cornfields around this field. And there's a rip by Collins right into the chest by Chalice. So we're approaching the 12-minute mark. But in the past few years, they waited till the season was done before the corn came down.
It might be another year this year because a lot of the corn was late because of the wet spring we had.
Yeah. So the Griffins will set up for their kick here, waiting for the offensive players to get into position. Ball goes off of the head of Morris, headed down by Holleran. And that was Arlo Holleran. And ball comes back, sent forward. And it is cleared out by Trombley. So the ball is in play. Sent across. Collins is for Chazy. He sends it up. Napper will knock it out of bounds. So we have a throw-in for Chazy. McCauley sends it down. Ball comes in. It is way up high in the air by Hayden King. Over the head of Collins. Collins and Knapp are battling. Connors gets the shot off. And it deflects over into Vichalis' hands, so Peter Vichalis will work his way to the 18. We're approaching 10 minutes left in the first half. Chazy leading, according to the scoreboard, 6-1 with shots on net. Corner kicks are 4-0. And where it matters most is on the scoreboard. They lead 1-0.
Wider, Hayden up.
Collins over to Bayshard. Sending it up, trying to find Tristan Connors. Coming off his line is Vichalis. Carl's dangerous on Tristan Connors. So Pribble will take the goal kick. He has been doing that all the first half anyway. Far side. Into the Chazy territory. And it is Liberi trying to control it. Goes to the outside. Lucas sends it up. Ball cleared forward by Sewell. But it's Connor Morris. He'll switch fields, comes to the near side, and that's going to be too much. Gets by Hunter Bayshard. So he throw in by Halloran. He goes down the line. He's trying to find Chris Jones. Mackenzie Stevens with the throw-in. Goes back to him. Norcross calls for it, and he'll pick it up. And he'll work his way to the 18. So the Eagles, who have controlled the first half, but it's almost like a lackluster effort on their part, too. There's just no, I don't know, there's like no urgency in the game. It's just kind of going through the motions.
I think they're coming off a one-sided victory against Willsboro, and they're coming into this one here thinking that it's going to be an easy game. And I just don't think they've got the drive right now to pile it on.
Right now the ball is in Griffin territory, and the Eagles would like nothing more than to extend that lead to 2-0. And of course the Griffins would love to get the equalizer, but it's cleared out of bounds by Smith, or by Chris Jones, I should say. So McCauley will take the throw-in for Chazy with 7:35 to go here in the first half.
Ryan, keep going, buddy.
Ball comes in, goes through everybody. On the outside is McAfee. He gets a weak shot off, and it goes into Peter Vichalis' hands. He'll work his way to the 18, taking his time. And the punt comes up. Just goes over the head of Stevens. Bayshard sends it up. Sent forward by Pribble off McAfee's head. Collins gets it up over to Tristan Connors, over to McAfee. Jones stuffs it, and it goes back to midfield. It is McAfee. He sends it over to the far side to Lucas. Lucas now gives it to Connors. Connors looking to cut in. Connors. And the ball is controlled by the Griffins. Hustling back is Morris. Morris pushes it to Bayshard, back over to Collins. Collins cuts it to the inside. Collins has it knocked away. The wall is formed by the Griffins. Now the ball will be sent forward, but a good job by McAfee controlling. Gets it up over to Morris.
Hey, watch the through ball. Watch the through ball.
Morris going to the, trying to find King. King looking to keep it in. King will cut it in. Now he goes down the line, chips it up over the side of the net. So goal kick, and Michael Dedham is back into the game at the 6-minute mark here in the first half, left in the first half. Pribble with the kick. Goes off the head of number 4 Stevens. Far side's King. King working his way down. King sending it across. And nice job defensively. Cleared out of the box. Moak steps up and it deflects out of bounds off of Chazy. So another goal kick for the Griffins. As we approach the 5-minute mark, Chazy leading 1-0 here on this beautiful, and we'll call it a summer night in September on September 13th.
Still summer.
7 it is on the calendar, still summer. And it is 7 shots to 1 favoring the Eagles and 4 corner kicks to 0 favoring the Eagles. 95% of the play has been in the Griffin defensive territory. And here comes Tristan Connors. He sends a shot off. It's a weak shot. Chalice picks it up. And he'll work his way to the 18. Nice booming kick. Off the head of Collins onto the feet of McCulley. McCulley comes to the near side of Hunter Bayshard. He's up in the offensive zone from the defensive end. Is Bayshard. Bayshard cutting through, doing a nice job. He cuts it back in. It's Bayshard. And off the end line, so they're calling a goal kick, but some good effort by Hunter Bayshard, not giving up, pushing the limits, but he got called for the taking the ball off the end line at the 4-minute mark here left in the first half.
Hunter, this guy trying to get us the service there with that many guys in the box. We got to get something out of it. It's all right, buddy. It's all right.
And the kick comes up by Pribble. And it is Connor Morris sends the ball back up. It'll work its way off the sideline. And the throwing goes out of bounds. So it will reverse to the Eagles. At 3:30, Chazy would like to get a second goal. And it went out of bounds way down there. Rowan comes in, and Calvin, as we sit here, I can feel the bugs coming out. The mosquitoes. So we have a corner kick for Chazy at the 3-minute mark. The first half is winding down here in the George Brendler field. Ball comes across, and it's going to be a corner kick. He didn't realize that McAfee or Connor Morris slipped, and he cleared it out. So it'll be a corner kick for Chazy. They got plenty of time, 2:38 here left in the first half. And they will be crashing the net.
You got 7 and you got 10 on the top.
And there goes the ball. Chazy crashes. Morris heads the ball. And it does not find its way across the line. Chalice is there, so the Griffins weather the storm.
2 minutes, boys!
And another nice punt by Chalice. Moak steps up. He sends it up, trying to find Tristan Connors, but it's sent forward by Stevens, number 22. That was Hudson Stevens into the hands of Ben Norcross. Ben Norcross with an equally impressive punt. Goes off the head of Morris. Back at midfield, Collins keeps it on the ground. Working his way up, it's Collins. Pushes it back up over to Morris. Morris goes to the open space. Bayshard up into the offensive zone. Hunter Bayshard now sends the ball across. Cleared back out. Morris rips a shot, deflects, and Chalice is there. And here's McCulley has it knocked away. Pushed back. There's another shot. It deflects. Chazy trying to get another shot off. Lucas shielding, trying to cut it to the inside. And we got another corner kick. So we have a minute 15. So the Eagles are putting up some nice pressure, but the Griffins are bending, but they are not breaking. And there's a shot, and that goes to the top of the net. So a goal kick for the Griffins. So the Griffins did a lot of bending, only broke once this first half, Calvin. And if I'm Coach Evan George, the way they were outplayed, I'd be happy only trailing 1-0 at the half.
I think coming into this game, everybody would have been surprised by a 1-0 score if that holds up.
So we have 40 seconds here left in the first half. Kick comes up. Connor Morris up over to Tristan Connors. Connors rips the shot. Chalice is there. So it's 12 shots to 1 here in the first half, favoring the Eagles. Lucas trapping the ball. 14 seconds. Collins.
10, 9, 8.
And the ball's cleared up. So the first half is going to come to an end. And it will be a 1-0 Chazy lead. So we're ready to start the second half, and the Griffins will take the kickoff here. So the ball is in play. Second half has started. Chazy leading 1-0, and they will now be going from right to left. Connor Morris from a Justin Collins pass. He goes to the far side trying to find Bayshard. Bayshard will work his way down the line, and he is being defended. Ball does come across. Connors tried to get a shot off. So didn't it Collins. And now it's McCauley. McCauley gets the shot off, and it goes wide of the net. So it's going to be a corner kick, not a corner kick, a goal kick for the Griffins. But the Eagles come out flying here in the first 20 seconds. They have an offensive rush. The shot goes wide, and a goal kick for the Griffins, as it will be Matthew Pribble with the kick. Pribble sends the ball up, shy of midfield. Hits the ground. Lucas trying to control it. Liberi comes to the near side as he's trying to find Dedham. Ball comes down. McCauley. And it will be moved forward by the Eagles. McCauley with the throw-in. He's sending it down, trying to find Lucas. Lucas trying to turn in. And the ball is going to be a corner as it goes off of Pribble. So a short corner kick is McCauley and Connors. Ball headed by McAfee, and that goes wide of the net. So a goal kick here for the Griffins at the 38-12 mark here in the second half. So Pribble will take the kick.
Come on, first the ball, dude. Let's go. Come on.
Ball to the far side. King trying to find Connors. Connors trying to turn on the afterburners, but he's defended well. But he gets the ball, and now Connors works his way to the 18, sends it across. And the shot could not be taken by Lucas, got off his foot. And it is the speed
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
of number 3. That was McLean, some really nice speed. Ball kept in play by Moak. Moak pushes it back over to McAfee. McAfee gives it up over to Collins. Collins goes to the far side to Bayshard. So some nice passing by the Eagles. And Bayshard will try to get a through ball coming off his line with Chalice. Napper goes off of Napper, comes to the inner side of Dedham. Dedham tries to get the back up over to Stevens, which he does, but he's guarded well by Collins. Collins up to Morris. Connor Morris will try to cut it back to the inside. He does. He pushes it up over to Collins. Collins cuts through 2 players, gets a shot off, shoots it wide of the net. So another goal kick for the Griffins here in the second half. Chazy leading 1-0. And in league play, and I probably shouldn't say this, but so far in the first 2 games, or 2.5 games, Chazy has yet to give up a goal.
Well, we'll see if that's still spotless.
We will, and of course, if they do get scored on tonight, it will be my fault for bringing that up.
Well, you don't want to be spotless when you get to the playoffs, and you get there.
It's a long way to go.
Yeah, I know, and you don't want to. Just think, like that game that they lost to Plattsburgh. I think that's good for them. I think having the other team score on you, so you don't panic. You don't panic when it happens,
Mm-hmm. But again, they have not played the team with the speed of Plattsburgh that night up to this point.
I don't know how good Ogdensburg is. That's their next game. That's on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah, that'd be a good test. Augsburg's from Section 10 Class B school. Usually does well in Class B up there. It's Lucas. Heath Lucas cuts it to the inside. Just too far ahead. And it is going to be a corner kick that went off of Stevens. And it is Alex Chapman coming into the game. Lucas coming out of the game. So Tristan Connors will take the corner kick for the Eagles. He sends it in, this dangerous play, and he gets through everybody and scores. And on the weak side, Brian McAfee, he has just been a scoring machine this year. He comes in from the stopper position. It's the third game in a row that McAfee has found the back of the net for the Eagles.
And defensive coach is going to tell you, don't let that ball hit the ground, and it hit the ground.
Right. And Connors got the assist. Tristan Connors gets the assist. McAfee now has a 3-game streak here, scoring goals for Chazy. He actually has 4 goals. He scored in Lake Placid, 2 against Willsboro, now 1 against the Griffins. So the Eagles go up 2-0. We're at the 35-minute mark. Chapman working his way down the line, sends it up over, nice play, gets it up over to Collins. Collins working his way toward midfield. Collins cutting the defense. Justin Collins going end to end here. Collins working his way over, trying to get over to Connors. Comes to the outside. Chapman hustling to get to the ball, does a nice job getting it from Dedham. And it will work its way out of bounds off of Stevens.
Chazy goal, scored by number 14, Brian McAfee, assisted by number 3, Tristan Connors.
So it's going to be a deep throw-in for Chazy with Tristan Connors taking the throw-in for Chazy. Off of Chapman, it goes high in the air. Morris goes off of Morris's head. And a big booming kick by number 15, Chris Jones, out of bounds. Throw-in Eagles. Eli Moak with the throw-in. Goes over the head. It is McCulley. McCulley working his way down. Sends it across. And it's number 3, Tristan Connors. So it's McAfee to Tristan Connors. 33-48. Chazy goes up 3-0, Calvin. It's kind of like what you said. There is the potential for the floodgates to open, and it looks like that's happening right now.
Yeah, another defensive indecision there, I think, helped Chazy to score that one. There's a couple of guys around that could have gone for that ball, and I guess they're each expecting somebody else to do it, so Connor said, I'll do it. So I think defensive indecision helped the Eagles on that one.
So it was the combination of McCulley and Connors. So Chazy, in the first 6.5 minutes of the second half, extended a 1-0 lead to a 3-0 lead. Trombley back there. And it is going to be a throw-in for Chazy. Moak will take the throw-in. He should work his way down the line. He does. And that goes out of bounds off of number 4, Mackenzie Stevens. Ball comes in, sent forward, picked up by Collins. Collins over to Morris. Morris cuts it to the inside. Off to the far side, Alex Chapman. Chapman cuts it to the inside, has it knocked away. So it's going to be another deep throw-in for Chazy. Tristan Connors will take the throw-in. Ball comes in off of Collins outside the box, and that's a trip probably on Bayshard. Going down was number 10, Liberi. So the Griffins will get their kick. I've been watching that smoke too, Calvin, wondering where it's coming from. You see it drifting over here too.
Yeah, I know. Fortunately for us, it's high enough that it's not in our booth here.
Yeah. Ball sent forward. by Stevens. Connors keeping the ball in play.
He's gonna cut back.
Connors working his way down, sends it across, and there's a deflection into the net, and it will be Josh McCauley. I think will get that goal. He deflects it in. So that was 5 from 7. That was McCauley getting the goal from Hayden King. So Chazy now increases the lead to 4-0 at the 31-minute, 49-second mark.
Remember those old commercials for Lay's potato chips? I bet you can't eat just one.
Yeah.
I think this is what happens. After you eat that first potato chip, you want more. And now that the Eagles have scored a couple times, they want to eat the whole bag, yeah.
Yeah, they want more. Well, so the shots favor the Eagles 15-1. Corner kicks are 8-0. And the game is back on here. Ball sent toward midfield. But you can't take away from the Griffins. They kept them down 1 goal at the half.
Yeah.
Only to 1 goal, I should say. So if you're going to build on anything as a coach, you got to say, okay, hey, yeah, we were outplayed, but we weren't bending. We were bending, but we weren't giving up the goals. So, but as a coach, you got to look at this, and you got to look at the positives as far as
And
the
learn from
Griffins
it.
go. Right. I mean, I guess you can say the game is not done. There's still 31 minutes left, but it does look good for the Eagles at this point.
Unless it's called on account of smoke.
Wherever that smoke's coming from.
I have dropped now. Blake, you
The
need
ball
this
is on the far
wrong.
side. Going out there is Napper. Napper sends it up, taken by King. King working his way down, trying to get by Napper. It's King. Napper takes it out of bounds. So a throw-in for Chazy, far sideline.
Alex, keep going, buddy.
And the throw comes in, headed by Morris. Inside the box, McCauley sends it back. Sent back, Moak gets a shot off with his left foot, but it was nice he took his left foot to send it up. It just went wide of the net. Nice pass by Alex Chapman over to Eli Moak. So a goal kick for the Griffins. And there's the short kick. Morris controls, pushes it back up over to Collins. Collins controlling. Now goes back to Morris. Morris heels it to Connors. Connors rips a shot, and that will just go wide. So a goal kick for the Griffins.
Hey guys, it's
We're
3 o'clock.
under 30 minutes. We're under 30 minutes here left in the second half.
Go, Green!
And we have Matthew Pribble taking the goal kick as he's been doing the whole game. Comes to the near sideline
Yes, that's all right, Cal.
to Spilling.
Yeah. Boys.
And McCauley takes it away, knocks it out of bounds. So a throw in for the Griffins. Alex Chapman trying to keep it in. He does. Trying to find McCauley. McCauley sticks it.
Yeah, Hudson.
Hey, send it.
Stevens sends it down, and it will work its way out of bounds.
That's a good ball. I like the idea.
That smoke is getting lower here.
It is smoke.
Yeah, if my asthma starts kicking in, I may just head for the door.
Yeah, well, yeah, your health is more important than the rest of this game, that's for sure. But you can smell it for
No,
sure.
definitely. Yeah, it's starting to get lower because it gets thicker.
You just wonder where it's coming from.
Trey.
But Trombley back there for Chazy, doing a nice job, taking it to the outside. Now he'll send it up forward. Ball in the defensive zone of Chazy. And now it's picked up by Collins.
Drop.
Collins sends it through. It's a foot race. It is McCauley. And it's cleared out. by number 9,
You just got
Lucas
caught on
Spilling.
the quad.
So we're going to have a corner kick for the Eagles, and it's going to be a short one, it looks like. No, they're going back to a traditional corner kick.
Good work.
Ball cleared out. Nobody back there for the Griffins. Trombley sends it over to Norcross. Norcross now gets it to Bayshard, so nice movement on the defensive end from the Eagles. Ball now back into the offensive zone. Tristan Connors trying to control it. Picked up by McCauley. McCauley going down the line, finding Hayden King. King cuts it to the inside. Now he sends it across. Alex Chapman trying to get a shot off. And there he tried to. It was deflected high in the air. Goes off of Vichalis. Chapman. And the ball was going to go in. Nice play by Vichalis, knocking it away. So a very nice play. And it's McAfee. Sends it to the far side. Bayshard cuts it to the inside. Some nice footwork by Bayshard. And Morris sends the ball up high over the net. So a goal kick for the Griffins at 26:23 to go here left in the second half. And it seems to have cleared up a little bit, Calvin. At least I'm not smelling it like I was. Yeah, it's there, but it's not dropping like it was on us. Chapman could not control. And that was Liberi. Liberi on Collins. Collins will control. He goes far side up over to Bayshard. Bayshard pushes it back to Trombley. Trombley sends it forward. And Napper takes it away from McCauley. And Morris goes up into the air as well as Stevens. They collide, but no call. Ball at midfield, picked up by Bayshard. Over to McAfee. McAfee comes to the near side, over to Chapman. Chapman, it's open space. Moak is in the offensive zone. And we'll have a throw in for Chazy. Coming into the game is Carson Wallfield. Out of the game is Hayden King. Coming out for the Griffins is number 3, McLean. And I'm not sure who came. Oh, no, he's not coming out. He just came over for a little bit of water. So it's Connors with the throw-in. And that goes off of Morris. McAfee sends it forward. Chapman trying to get to the ball. Picked up by Moak. Moak will now send it across. On the ground. Moak sends it back. And offsides on McCauley. So a goal kick, well, not a goal kick, but there'll be a kick for the Griffins. As we're approaching 8 o'clock here, the game started late here at the George Brendler Field. So here comes a kick by Pribble. And it is Wallfield into the game with some nice speed. Sends it back up over to McCauley. McCauley back to Wallfield. Wallfield goes down. And it's Morris. And McCauley battling for the ball with Hudson. Hudson does a nice job. Cuts it back to the inside. He sends it toward midfield. It's now in the offensive zone. Trombley. And he has it knocked away. But some nice speed from number 3, Trey McLean. He's a senior for the Griffins. Bayshard throws the ball down. The ball's headed out of bounds. We're approaching the 23-minute mark. Chazy leading the Griffins 4-0. Shots on net are 17-1 favoring the Eagles. And the corner kicks favor the Eagles at 9-0.
Can you touch it? That's it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fine.
Collins comes to the near side. Over to Chapman. Chapman now gives it to Moak. Moak can't control it.
Good work, Gavin.
So Spilling, Gavin Spilling. Ball comes right up near the booth here. Moak over to Collins. Back to McAfee. Over to Chapman. Chapman working his way down. Chapman is getting the ball through, trying to find Connors. Chapman battling. Stepping up is Morris, knocked away. Collins. Collins rips a shot, and Bailucci is there. Chalice, is there. Chalice sends a high kick toward midfield. Morris knocks it down. It comes back to Collins. And it's cleared out by number 11, Gavin Spilling. Picked up by Connor Morris, far side to Hunter Bayshard. Bayshard working his way toward the 18. Ball on his feet. Now it's knocked away towards midfield. Sent out to the feet of Trombley. Trombley comes to the near sideline. On to Moak.
Yeah, thank you.
Moak. Collins has it cleared out by Stevens. Moak sends it back. Trombley's there. Chazy will settle down and spread the field. Bayshard crosses midfield. He sends a kick up. Chapman trying to head the ball up over to Tristan Connors. Connors comes over to get the ball. Sends it across. Off the head of Morris.
Yes, Will.
And Walfield came in, but it's cleared out by number 15, Jones. Ball comes across.
Yeah, there we go, Matt.
Outside his foot, McAfee up over to Connors. Connors sends it far side. There's the header, and it goes right into the hands of Vaichalis.
You have to stay with your man.
Tristan, try to get him in line next time. Beat him on the other side.
Hey, make sure you drop back, all right? Yeah.
So it's Chapman, and the ball will work its way probably up to us if we're lucky. Look at that. I got to touch the ball, Calvin. Is that a handball for me, or to put my hands on the ball? So Connors up over to Chapman.
Get up.
Connors working his way down the line. Defended well. Pushed back. Moak sends it across. Bayshard will send it back to Nathan Trombley. Trombley now comes to the near side up over to Moak. Chazy playing a little keep away right now. On to Collins' foot. Collins gives it up to Morris. Morris tried to go back to Collins, but he's defended well by Pribble. But Morris hustles back and grabs the ball. So a little give and take here. Now taken by the Eagles, but intercepted by the Griffins out to the far side. And that's Jeremiah Johnson sends it up to midfield. Bayshard gets up over to McAfee. He goes back up over to Morris. Morris cuts it to the inside. Now he goes to the outside trying to find Walfield. Walfield trying to keep it in. It goes out. So coming into the game is Michael Dedham, as well as number 25, Keegan Sewell. Coming out for the Griffins, number 11, Gavin Spilling, as well as number 29, Jeremiah Johnson. So we're 18:30, Chazy with a 4-0 lead here. King getting ready to check back into the game. He'll probably come in for Walfield is my guess. Walfield with the ball has it knocked away, cleared toward midfield. McAfee's there, but so isn't Bayshard. Bayshard gets there first. He'll work his way down. He'll get a shot off. It's deflected by McCulley into the hands of Vaichalis. And Peter Vaichalis will take the punt. And he will be just shy of midfield. Collins taps it up over to Chapman up to McCulley. Dedham, who just checked into the game, will challenge Chapman. Chapman takes it down the end line. Is Chapman trying to get by Dedham. Dedham knocks it out. So it'll be a throw-in for Chazy. And actually Morris is coming out of the game. King going in. And Eli Moak will take the throw-in for Chazy, but he'll push it down. Josh McCulley comes over to take the throw-in.
Connor, just gonna give you a little breather, all right?
Weak side, come on, Green.
And it's McCulley with the throw-in. Collins sends it back. Nobody there for Chazy. And there's a nice little give and go. And Moak does a nice job to come back. Gets it up over to Trombley. Over to Chapman. Alex Chapman. Chapman cuts it in. Now he sends it across. Connor's trying to control it. It's knocked away. Chapman does a nice job trying to keep the ball in. And the ball is cleared out. So another deep throw in for Chazy. Tristan Connors will take the throw in. Ball in play. It's up in the air. Kind of a little scrum that's cleared out by the defense. Back there is Trombley. And that will deflect off Green, so it looks like it'll be a white throw-in. Hunter Bayshard will take it. We're approaching the 16-minute mark here left in the second half. Chazy with a 4-0 lead. So it's King. Moak gets the shot off, and by Chalice was a little screened on that, but wide of the net. So we're going to have a goal kick for the Griffins with 15:52 to go here, left in the second half. So Pribble with the kick off the head of Stevens at midfield into the offensive zone. Ball pushed back. Trombley there for Chazy. Comes over to the near side, over to Moak. Moak with the ball. He has Chapman to his left. He has Collins ahead of him. Gets it to Collins. Collins back to Moak, back to Collins. Collins will now work his speed. Will take his speed up there. It's Collins on top of the key. Turns. He'll rip a shot. And that just goes over the net. But, boy, he set up. And you can see that play develop up here, Calvin. But a nice effort by Mr. Collins.
Good hard shot, and went high. That's a good shot.
So a goal kick, and coming out of the game is number 3, McLean. Pribble, near sideline kick. Mike Dedham trying to control. Nice play by Chapman, picking his pocket. Sends it up too far ahead of Collins. Stevens is there, but it's taken away by King. Pushes it back up over to McAfee. McAfee pushes it back up to King. King will now get it to the feet of McCulley. Josh McCulley takes it to the outside. It's McCulley working his way down the line. McCulley sending it forward, trying to find Wallfield, and it's knocked out of bounds, so a throw-in deep into Griffin territory, far side. The Eagles will take the throw-in. Ball in play off of Wallfield, off King's back. Wallfield hustling to keep the ball in play, but it's defended well. So we'll have a goal kick for the Griffins. We are at 13:47. Chazy leads on the scoreboard 4-0. Shots on net favor the Eagles 20-1, and the corner kicks are 9-0. So the shot comes up over the head of everybody, then deflected by Stevens, picked up by Chapman. Chapman finds McCulley. McCulley goes to the outside to Wallfield. Wallfield now work his way, takes it to the outside. Wallfield now will send it across, deflects off of Stevens. And it is McCulley, sends it back, up his Bayshard. Bayshard chips it up toward inside the box, headed by Chapman, and by Chalice is there. On a header by Alex Chapman, he'll work his way to the 18. And there's a punt just shy of midfield off the head of Chapman onto the feet of Tristan Connors. Connors working his way down. It's Connors, and as he's being defended by Lucas Spilling. Spilling, and it is Connors keeping it in. Connors pushes it back to Moak. Moak sending it into the box off of the head of Napper. And it's just kind of banging around. King heads it back. And it's cleared out. Back there is Moak. Moak sending it all the way back. And yes, Ben Norcross is in the game. He sent it back up to the near sideline over to Moak. Eli Moak, near sideline over to Chapman. Out of bounds, so we have some wholesale changes at the 12-minute mark coming in for Chazy. And we have a 3-4. We got 5 substitutions coming into this game for the Eagles, and I'll call their names now. We got Jordan Rattel, Kyle Cahoon, Rashad Blake, Preston Lauren, Bruce Juno, Brendan Hostler, and Matthew Parent. They're all getting ready to check into the game here for the Eagles. They're eager and ready to go. And Nathan Trombley sends the kick up. And that will deflect out into the end line. So we're going to have a corner kick for Chazy. And also let's throw into the mix Aiden Huckrow. So 7 Eagles going into the game. And a lot of Eagles coming out of the game. And I'm not even going to attempt to say who they are coming off. Just a lot of them.
The game must be official because Roy Bayshard just headed for the exit. And Larry Eber was with him, so.
They said they've seen enough.
Yeah, when Roy leaves, the game's over.
Little Roberto Duran, no mas. As Calvin's getting a shot of that. And Blake does a nice kick inside the box. And kind of a little scrum cleared out by Napper. And Rattel sends the ball forward. And you got Kyle Cahoon. He's Mr. Everything out there. He played net against Willsboro for the final, 20 minutes anyway, if not 30 minutes. Now he's up on the front line. So the versatile Kyle Cahoon out there, number 26. And the ball's knocked away. Mr. Parent, Matthew that is, he sends the ball back up. Blake trying to get his head on it. Nice play by Parent over to Blake. And we're going to have a goal kick, and we're going to send another sub in. His name is Josiah Bouchard.
And number 3 for the Lions
Number 3 is McLean. Dominic Thompson into the game. Dedham. And Thompson, he just checking into the game. Dominic Thompson. Nice play by Thompson. Cuts it to the inside. Huckrow sends it forward. Thompson's there for the Griffins. He's trying to find the Frida McLean. Defending for Chazy back there is Brendan Hostler. Stepping up is Parent. And the ball goes out of bounds, so there is going to be a throw-in for the Griffins. And they'll work their way toward the 18. The ball comes across, cleared out by Huckrow.
Hey, keep the pressure up, guys. Let's get
And Walfield stepping up. Comes to the near sideline to Bouchard. Josiah Bouchard working his way down across midfield. Bouchard cuts it to the inside. It's Bouchard. Sends it forward, trying to find Walfield. Blake pushes it back to Bouchard. And Rattel sends it inside the box. Coming off his line is by Chalice. And so we have 8 minutes and 16 seconds here left in the second half. And a punt coming by Chalice.
Yeah, Blake. Come on, Blake. Hey, make the run. Make the split.
And there's the cut by LeBerry. And it's Walfield has it knocked away. And it is Lauren. Sends it up toward midfield. Goes over the head of Cahoon. Cahoon now heads it up to Blake. Blake sends it off to the far side to Wallfield. Wallfield trying to control. Goes back to Cahoon. Cahoon comes over to the near sideline, but it's taken out by Thompson. And it's Huckrow goes to the near side to Bouchard. Bouchard working his way down the line, being guarded by Thompson. Bouchard will now cut by Thompson, trying to split the defense. And it's knocked away, and it's sent up the wing here, but picked up by Huckrow. Huckrow sends it back into the top of the box, headed back out, and Cahoon trying to heel it to Blake, but the ball's cleared out onto the feet of number 3, McLean. McLean has it knocked away, and a nice job by Bruce Juno for Chazy, but the ball does come forward. Back there is Lauren. Lauren knocks it away from McLean. McLean hustling. Is McLean out of bounds, deep throw in for the Griffins with under 7 minutes. Chazy with a 4-0 lead. Throw-in comes in. It goes off of the head of number 25, Sewell. Ball in play. And that goes off of Rattel. Out of bounds, throw in here for the Griffins. Ball comes back into the feet of number 5, Tribble. It now goes out of bounds, so a throw in for Chazy. They lead 4-0. Shots on net are 22-1, and the corner kicks favor Chazy 9-0. And it's Wallfield. He has it knocked away, knocked out of bounds by number 25, Sewell. So right at midfield, far side, it will be Wallfield. And he'll get the ball into number 13, Hostler. Hostler has it knocked away. Parent comes up to defend. It's Parent. Parent battling for the ball, but controlled by the Griffins. And it's controlled by number 3, McLean. Parent sends it up toward midfield. Picked up by Jones. Jones now chips it up. Goes off of the head of Kyle Cahoon. Blake battling for the ball. He'll be called for the push. No, it was a handball on the Griffins. So all the Chazy players are running back to the offensive zone, Calvin. They all thought it was for the Griffins.
Both teams thought that way.
I think your guy must have touched it, put it in play. The other guy went and picked it up.
No, the handball.
He called foul.
Oh, nice play by Cahoon, sending it in toward by Chalice. And he comes up with the ball. And there's the punt. Off the head of Stevens.
Yeah, they're not talking. Let's go.
Lauren will clear it out. Trying to find Parent far side. He'll go over his head out of bounds. So a throw in for the Griffins. Ball in play. Down the line, Parent trying to control. He does. Parent just kind of pushed him off a little bit.
That was kind of obvious there.
Well, so it's Huckrow setting it up off the head of Cahoon, trying to find Blake. He does. Blake, a through ball, trying to find Hostler. And coming over to defend was Jones. Nice job. And it's cleared out by the Griffins, so good defense by the Griffins. And it goes off of Parent. So a throw in far side for the Griffins. We're at 3:40 here left in the second half. On this gorgeous September 13th night in the North Country at the George Brendler Field. I'm Joey Trombley. On the camera is the founding father himself, Calvin Castine. And while I'm thinking of it, as the game's winding down, if you enjoy this programming, and I know every show we do asks for your support, if you can send a donation to 1477 Ridge Road in Champlain, New York, 12919, or go to HometownCableNetwork.com and you can go on their PayPal account. Calvin is only supported by viewers and by any businesses that want to advertise their business. There is no federal or state funding, so we hope you enjoy this show. And I know many of you have Oh, there's a rip, and that's wide. And I know many of you have thought about making a donation, and all of a sudden life takes over and you just kind of forget about it. But if you're watching this and you're able to make a donation and you're close to your checkbook, feel free to cut a check, and I know Calvin will be very much appreciative for you to send that donation showing your support for Hometown Cable. So it's Pribble.
And every once in a while we get some by PayPal, and got one today, in fact, from Neil and Lynn West.
Oh, nice. And they're out in Texas.
Yes.
And Neil is an alumni
Yep.
of Chazy, and who actually was a captain of the Chazy team back in the 90s?
No,
Early
80s.
late 80s.
Late 80s. I was thinking he graduated in 87, I'm guessing.
So late 80s. And Neil lives in Texas. And Neil was a captain for actually it was a championship team, not a state championship team, but they definitely won their division that year. And so Neil West is part of this rich soccer heritage here in Chazy. And of course his dad is the 1950s player, Mr. Bob West.
Bob and Mary are sitting in the stands right now.
And Bob and Mary are at this game right now, and great supporters of Chazy soccer, and of course of Chazy in general. And
Oh, Bob was there. Mary's still there. I don't know where Bob went.
he could be at the snack shack, who knows?
Or one of those little green buildings.
Or one of those little green buildings. Nice little houses over there.
Yes.
So we had a
Single
minute.
occupancy.
So yes, single occupancy. A minute 23 here left in the game, and it's fair to call that right now with Chazy leading 4-0. And another game that the reserves got some playing time, and it's a fair amount of playing time. And just like the last game, Calvin, these guys hold their own out there and show they deserve to be out there. And I've said this before, they could probably start for any other D school out there. So it's King, and they all know the system. They play it well, and it's Preston Lauren. He chips it to the near sideline, and he finds Josiah Bouchard and Bruce Juno battling for the ball. But a nice play by number 3, McLean, far side, and it's Wellfield over to Parent. Parent trying to rip it up. Deflects off of number 10, Liberi. Ball goes back to Norcross with 23 seconds to go. And Calvin with 15 seconds left. It looks like Chazy will preserve their shutouts in league play, as this game will go in the books as a 4-0 Chazy win. A very dominating performance. Shots at net were 23-1, corner kicks 9-0, and they win 4-0. So on this beautiful September 13th night at the George Brendler Field, Chazy 4, the Griffins 0, and as Calvin says, and as he's going to get the handshakes here, that's the way it was in beautiful downtown Chazy.